Eni Aluko was caught in a furious row with Simon Jordan during an ad break on talkSPORT. The pair debated over Aluko's comments about ITV's pundit picks at the Women's Euros. Sign up for the football newsletter. Thank you. Simon Jordan was caught rowing with Eni Aluko during an ad break on talkSPORT. Jordan launched a scathing attack of Aluko and her punditry live on air. Aluko also accused Laura Woods of gaslighting herCredit, PA. Laura Woods publicly criticized Aluko's comments about pundits in women's footballCredit, Getty. The back and forth continued during an ad break and cameras caught Jordan gesturing towards Aluko. They exchanged verbals as the live feed returned to the studio, with Jordan then publicly slamming his guest. He said on talkSPORT, "I don't think you are particularly enlightening, illuminating, engaging or charismatic." Jordan continued, "The language that you use is, to me, it's steeped in the sense of entitlement. Read more in football. The sheer weight of the entitlement you seem to believe you have would re-sink the weight of the Titanic. I think you have been quite fortuitous. I think because of initiatives like Getty, they've allowed people to be put into positions in the men's game that I don't think they've merited, and now that seeds an attitude that you've become a stalwart in the men's game." Jordan's criticism came amid a debate between the pair over Aluko's comments about female punditry. Aluko questioned ITV's decision to leave herself and Farrah Williams out of their coverage of the Women's Euros final last summer. Most read in football, she has called for male pundits to perform a supportive role in women's football, prompting backlash from Laura Woods. The ITV and TNT sports presenter called out Aluko in a series of tweets on X. Aluko was asked about Woods' response following her row with Jordan. She hit back, saying, "Laura was actually one of the people I would consistently go to. We got on like a house on fire. We got on like a house on fire and I'd consistently go to her and say, 'How do you think it went? You know, what do you think? How did it go?' Again, I'm that person, right?" Laura consistently, and I had to look at the messages yesterday and think, hold on, I feel a bit gaslit here. Laura consistently said to me, "I think you're a brilliant broadcaster. I think you're a brilliant pundit." So I think there's a little bit of serving her argument at this point, which I respect. Listen, she doesn't agree and that's fine, but I think there's an insinuation in there that you don't meet the standard. And again, I've worked too hard for people to just conclude that because you're not seeing me on screen, I'm not good enough. That's not true. Woods, 38, had dismissed Aluko's suggestion that her experience as an England player meant she should hold greater prominence as a pundit. The presenter wrote on X, "Caps don't win automatic work and they don't make a brilliant pundit either. The way you communicate, articulate yourself, do your research, inform your audience, how likable you are and the chemistry you have with your panel are what makes a brilliant pundit. The women's game should be by women for women," is one of the most damaging phrases I've heard. It will not only drag women's sport backwards, it will drag women's punditry in all forms of the game backwards. If you want to grow something, you don't gatekeep it. We want to encourage little boys and men to watch women's football too, not just little girls and women. And when they see someone like Ian Wright taking it as seriously as he does, they follow suit. That's how you grow a sport. here's a picture of our team at ITV. We won Best Production at the Broadcast Sport Awards 2025 for our coverage of the Women's Euros. Seb Hutchinson won Best Commentator too. So I think ITV got it just right. Aluko, 38, hit back by sharing a statement, which read, "I respect Laura's opinion as I have always done. For 11 years I have worked alongside the likes of Laura and all those considered the best pundits in the game. It's therefore clear I was considered one of the best too if I was part of the same punditry team. No one who has ever hired me as a pundit has said I wasn't good enough or did not have all the attributes Laura referred to. Quite the contrary. I believe that women's football should prioritize women as the faces of the sport. It's as simple as that. I think women should be the dominant force in the women's game in the same way that men are the dominant force in the men's game. That means men should play more of a supporting role. No one is saying any man should be excluded, but the roles do need to be defined. That's all I'm saying, and people are quite free to disagree whilst respecting my right to an opinion too. Aluko also shared her disappointment in Ian Wright, who she claimed failed to act like an ally when she needed his support. The pundit was hopeful of receiving Wright's backing in discussions with ITV, with Aluko revealing Gary Neville had been more supportive. She said, "Gary Neville is an amazing ally. He's been so supportive towards me, you know, so that's not what it's about. I think in that particular moment, Gary's been very supportive throughout my career. I mean, I remember years ago when I was starting as a sporting director and I went over to Salford, you know, shadowed Gary for the day. We had a nice tea in the sort of half-time, put me up in his nice hotel in Manchester. Always checks in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Recommended stories. That's kind of what you want from these big male allies. Yeah, you know, and that's that's not an entitlement. That's just you want. For me, if I feel entitled to anything, it's respect. I just want people to respect my opinion. I just want people to respect me as for the work that I've done and respect me as a broadcaster." Aluko and Woods clashed over pundits in women's football credit. Getty. Ian Wright came under fire from Aluko in the past credit. Getty.